Welcome to another edition of the SoCal Prep Report. Rich Estrella, and I'm here at Sunny Hills High School, where the Lancers have won a CIF championship. It's been since, what, 92, Coach?
90? Yeah, 1992.
It's been a while, and we're excited to be here today and talk to Coach Pete Karavedas, the head coach, about the Lancers. And, Coach, not only did you come in with the CIF championship, but, man, you guys got a bid to state. Nothing like that.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal run. Just really proud of our kids and proud of our coaches. You know, it's been a long time since we've had this happen here at Sunny Hills, and it's just really a testament to the hard work of a lot of different people, not just players, not just coaches, but really our whole community has just really rallied behind our guys, and again, just proud to be a Lancer.
Well, you got to understand, you know, when people think of Sunny Hills High football, they do not think of dynasties or CIF championships. But it's been a while, and Coach, as we've been talking, what's been going on here, you mentioned the culture's changed a little bit around campus. There's a little bit more emphasis on athletics, which gives basically students a well-rounded situation here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our principal, Alan Witten, came in about 5-6 years ago and really said, you know, we already know Sunny Hills is a really strong academic school. We already know that. What else are we going to do? And so one of the things that I've just been so blessed to be a part of is the total culture shift of we want to give our kids a well-rounded experience. Yeah, we want to have great academics. We want to have great athletics. We want our activities directors to be supporting all of that. And so we're just so thrilled to be part of it. I mean, our student section was #1 in Orange County a couple of weeks in a row this year. We've had Rooter buses coming to the games. We've had pep rallies and all, you know, parade on campus, all sorts of stuff to really rally behind athletics and give our kids a really strong experience in both athletics and academics, and just, again, as a positive school culture. So us winning CIF was really, we felt, a culmination of the entire turnaround of Sunny Hills High School,
Absolutely.
Not just Sunny Hills football.
Well, yeah, you know, Sunny Hill's known basically, they do very well in basketball, and, you know, a lot of continuity there. You have Joe Oak here now, who's been played here and has been a mainstay on the coaching staff as the head coach. And now, again, the football changing a little bit. And, you know, we all know, you know, these extracurricular activities in sports are great things to go to participate in. Of course, it's after hours, but, you know, there's a lot of school spirit. People get to bond. And, you know, these are memories you'll have forever.
Well, and it's really special for us, Rich, because the majority of our student population and all of our players, they all live within a couple of miles of here. And so it's really something the whole community can be part of.
Right.
And so a lot of these kids grew up playing together, grew up going to school together. Even if they're not on the team, they're watching their friends that they've known since junior high or since elementary school compete. And so, again, it's something the whole community has really rallied behind, and I'm just really blessed to be a part of it.
Coach, let's talk about your season now. Very successful. We have already mentioned your CIF championship, state appearance. Coming into the season, expectations, where were they? How close were they to coming to fruition?
Yeah, I mean, the expectations were very high. We had a team that had lost in the first round 2 years in a row in tie ball games in the fourth quarter, and we'd gone 8-3 the previous 2 years. And so we talked a lot about the fact that we know games are decided by inches. They're decided in the fourth quarter, and we've got to work that hard to get over the hump. We also had our starting quarterback, our starting running back, and our defensive player of the year all returning, and we had a JV team that went 9-1 the year before. So expectations were high. We knew we were going to have a good team, but our theme of the offseason was, are we going to be good or are we going to be great? And so our boys really, to their credit, embraced that, and we talked a lot about that. And in every decision you have to make, whether it's in the weight room or on the field, in the film room, is this what a good team does or is this what a great team does? And that was really the difference in putting us over the hump to get that CIF championship ring.
Does it feel like, you know, I would assume, and I'm not a coach now, but I would assume, you know, coming into a situation like you had where there wasn't a lot of winning, man, some of that might fall on deaf ears. They might not buy in. How hard was it to really get them to buy in?
You know, to be honest, not very difficult because we have a great group of kids. Our kids were hungry. Our kids wanted it. They wanted to be the team that brought CIF championships back to Sunny Hills. And so, you know, there was a little moment here and there because they're teenagers that you got to kick that motivation in. But honestly, it was not that difficult. The motivation was very intrinsic. Our kids were hungry and our kids fought. And I think that's why you saw them come back from down in the fourth quarter multiple times to win the championship.
Your first game, you guys lost your first game.
Yeah.
You've had these expectations. What did that do?
Oh, it was a difficult loss. I mean, to lose with no time left on the clock on a Hail Mary, and then they get a 2-point conversion and you lose by 1 to a team that beat you by 1 point the year earlier. It was very, very difficult. But you know what, Coach or Rich? I think the best thing that ever happened to us was losing that game, because it was a reminder to every single kid and every single coach that every little thing matters. And remember this feeling when you don't want to run that extra sprint, or when you don't want to watch that extra film, or when you don't want to do that extra rep in the weight room, or you don't want to go hard in practice. Remember this feeling. And I think our kids really embrace that. It is as devastating as losing that first game was. We won a whole bunch after that. And I think it's because we understood that those games are decided by inches. So we played in, I think it was something like 7 one-score games this year. We lost that one, and then we won the other 6.
Yep.
And again, proud of our kids and our coaches for really just taking that to heart. It really shaped our season.
And that's very true what you said. Anytime you have a loss, think about what he just said. This is what the extra laps are for, the extra reps in the weight room are for. You have to work harder than the next guy if you want to beat the next guy. And there's no shortcuts. There just isn't.
Absolutely, and that's what I love about football, because you do all this work and you're only guaranteed 10 games, right?
That's
and so
it.
It's a whole lot of work for a delayed gratification, which in our society today is really difficult to find, right? Everything is like this.
Absolutely.
And football is one of the last things we have that you work for. I mean, you start in January, and your first game's, last week, August, early September, for that payoff. And so credit to our kids for all that work, and then to lose a game like that and to rebound and to rally, it's just really a testament to who they are as people. Because ultimately, right, CIF championship is great, and the memories are going to last forever. But ultimately, what are the lessons you're taking from that experience to help you in the rest of your life is what's important.
Now, Coach, before we start talking to some of the athletes, we're going to talk to some of your players on the team, the CIF champions. Talk about the playoff run as a whole, because that's a whole different season. I mean, you played, 15 games this year? 16 games?
Yeah, 15 games.
15 games. So, I mean, literally you had 3. So you had the preseason, you had the league, and then you had the postseason. So I want to talk about your playoff run, because those are, obviously it's critical to win it. You have to win all your games, man. But it seemed like after the pre-league, you guys went in. You had some of your preseason games. You guys just dominated. You did. You dominated. You kept most of the teams to one-digit scores. They were scoring 8, 9, 7 points.
Yeah.
And then you get in the playoffs, and every game's tight, man.
Well, I really credit our non-league schedule. Winning a tight game against Brea in the non-league, winning an overtime game against Trabuco in the non-league. Had really prepared us well for the playoffs. So when we got against Tustin in the first round and we were down 14-0, again, a lesser team would have hung their heads and quit.
Right.
These guys battled back, and we're sitting there, and in the final seconds, June scores a touchdown to put us over the hump, and then that was the first CIF win since 1996. And after that, I think Monkey was off the back, so to speak.
Right.
It really took us to another level, and we went out against Notre Dame Riverside and probably played our best game of the year, particularly offensively. Looked really, really good in that game. And then we knew we had a tough test in Trabuco Hills because we were going on the road. We had already beaten them in an overtime game, and it was another game that went down to the wire.
Yeah.
And credit, Wilson, makes a great play, and then Carson intercepts the ball, and we win that game. And again, you just got this sense from our players, every time you have that type of success, it builds more confidence that we're going to get in this position, and we've done this before. So in the CIF championship game, we're down 14-3 to Santa Barbara, who's got a Wisconsin commit quarterback. We're on the road. A lot's going against us, and we just talked to the boys at halftime. We said, okay, everything went wrong. We're down 14-3. We're not going to panic. Let's just keep playing. We get a big interception to start the second half. We score right away. And, all of a sudden, here we come. And you could just feel it. And even once we go up in that game, they go right down the field and score. But our boys don't panic. They just keep playing. And again, what I told the boys when we were at City Hall last week, and the parents, I said, you're going to be down in the fourth quarter in life, and you have a choice to make. Are you going to hang your head and blame other people and blame your circumstances, or are you going to say, all right, we have a job to do, let's go get it done? And again, just so proud of our kids for doing that and for getting that job done and winning that ring.
Well, it's tough, if you don't get into a bloody brawl, which you did early on. Believe me, you did in the first game was a bloody brawl.
Yeah.
But if you don't get a bloody nose or a black eye sometime during the season, when you get into the playoffs, and believe me, everybody can throw punches in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You may fold, like Coach said, and that's a real tribute. I mean, that's character building right there, and that's, I think, winning that first playoff game against Tustin was a real character builder. even though you're in the playoffs, it really built a
Absolutely.
lot of character for this team.
They were 300 pounds across the board in the offensive line.
That's Tustin.
And not just big, but very well coached. Sam Baker from the Falcons and USC is their offensive line coach, and they've just got a phenomenal staff, phenomenal group of kids. And so we knew we were in for it. And, we go down 14-0 halfway through the third quarter. It's like, okay, what are we going to do? You got to make a choice. And, again, the boys just battled right back and punched it in and got the win. And even against Santa Barbara in the finals, we're up, but they're moving the ball, and they're moving the ball, and they go for the end zone, and Wilson Calvin makes the interception to ice the game. Again, guys just stepped up and made play after play in the clutch. And that just, again, this thing doesn't happen without so many people doing their job and putting in the work. And I think that's the pleasure of being a part of it, is that that every single person mattered.
Let's talk about real quick getting the bid to state. Not everybody gets an invitation to state. There's 14 CIF champions, and there's only 10 state games, and the open division is the open division. How did you guys feel about that, getting a state bid, man?
Well, it's changed now because they have the regional games, so there's more teams that it's open to. And I think in the southern section, we all get it. So it was a little bit different for us, especially with the emotional win of the CIF title game. And we weren't focused on that, to be honest with you. Our focus all year was we want to win a CIF championship.
Absolutely.
But, when it came, it was great.
I wish we didn't
have to go to Bakersfield after going to Santa Barbara. And they ended up winning the whole thing. And obviously they're a very well-coached team and a good team. But, that's going to be our next goal is, we said all year this year we want to win the 14th game and win a CIF title. I think we have to change that to 16 games, which is a lot, Rich. I mean, the other sections don't play that many games because they're smaller sections. They get a bye in the first round, or they win a CIF title only playing 13 games. So it's really difficult to come from the southern section and win a CIF title and then win a state title over another opponent from another section. But I think that's our next mountain to climb.
But you get to put that on your resume. The school gets to put it on the wall here somewhere. State participants. It's a big deal. It really is, the state of California. And especially since the national champion seems to be coming out of the state of California. I think 7 of the last 10 or 12 years it comes out of SoCal.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, right? Because we're, I think, the only state that does sections. Everybody else, they don't have a section title. You just win a state title.
You win a state championship.
But California's got over 30 million people, so it's all in sections.
It's ridiculous out here.
That's why a CIF title kind of was a state title forever. And then in the last 10 years now, they've created another carrot, I guess, to go after. But we're up for the challenge, and I know our kids are going to work hard in the 2020 offseason.
How hard, before we start talking to the kids, how hard is it to play that many games in a season now?
Well, I think you got to be smart as a staff. In week 15, you can't bang on them like you did maybe in week 1 or in fall camp, and so you got to be smart. But then mentally, you can't lose the edge, and that was definitely uncharted territory for us. And getting into weeks 13 and 14, we had zero problems with staying just freaking laser sharp focus. But once you've won that title, and then now you're celebrating, but then you have to play this state thing that was kind of a weird spot to be in. To be honest with you. So
don't give you much time to enjoy it. You know?
Well, we're enjoying it now.
We're
enjoying it now, and so we've met with the ring guy, and we passed out the CIF champ shirts and all that stuff, and meeting with you. So now it's kind of our time to enjoy it, and Christmas is going to be really good on the Hill in 2019.
Be special. All right, let's meet some of the players now. Who did you bring today? Let's do them one at a time.
So, we'll start off with our running back, Jun Ahn. Let's go ahead and bring Jun on.
Here you go. Have a seat, man.
Jun's a special player for us. Had almost 2,000 yards rushing and 30 total touchdowns this year. Last year, he was an all-CIF player as a junior, had over 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns. The interesting thing about Jun, as he signed with Drake University earlier this week, is that he didn't play football until he got to high school, and he's 5'6", but he was a workhorse for us and just did a tremendous job this season, and also played defense, and so we're just really proud of him.
That's great, man. Drake plays some Division I schools in the preseason, man. You're going to see some stuff out there. Jun, first of all, congratulations. CIF champs, always wonderful, but you had a phenomenal season this year, man. You had 30 touchdowns. I was talking to Jun earlier. When did you start playing football? How much experience do you have playing football?
4 years.
4 years. This dude came out as a freshman and dominated. By contrast, his linebacker Silva is his 12th year in the league, man. So, and I don't mean in high school. He's not a 12th year senior. He's just been playing ball since he was a young man. So let's talk about your season, Jun. You guys came in. You heard us talking to Coach here. Did you buy in to CIF champion this year from the get-go?
Yeah, from day one. The coaches have been really preaching 14 games and set a different mindset for us throughout the offseason, and each and every day we just kept getting better.
How much football did you know coming in as a freshman? I mean, how much had you actually play in the street? Did you play any flag football in junior high? What was your experience level?
I had zero experience. I actually signed up for flag football, but then it got canceled, so I had zero experience at all. Never touched a football.
Man, come out. What'd you have, about 2,000 yards this year rushing and another
like
200
18.
something odd receiving, 30 touchdowns. You're lucky enough to get an offer from Drake University. Talk about that.
Yeah, super thankful to receive an offer from them. You know, I've been, Drake was like the very first college that's been in contact with me and has believed in me since the very beginning.
They've been staying with you, and usually recruiters will find a good prospect and keep in contact, getting film sent back and forth, being able just to make sure that this is the guy. And obviously they saw something in you, and to hear your coach tell it, they're getting a good athlete. So congratulations to you. Talk really quick about becoming a CIF champion. What's it been like around campus for you when you came back after winning?
Like the feeling of winning CIF championships, it's pretty surreal. Like the whole experience, you know, like you don't like experience it until like you actually experience it.
Right.
Yeah,
You don't know how it's going to be.
That's
No, I
how
understand.
That's deep. He's going to be a philosophy major at Drake.
Well, that is deep. I mean, the guy's thinking on the fly. He's got cameras in his face. This is Sunny Hills, man. I couldn't see. I had to wear my shades today. But, hey, listen, congratulations, man. You had a great season. I would hate to have to chase you around and try to tackle you. Even in my prime, it would have been tough, man, because this guy's got a low center of gravity, and to hear his teammates tell it, he can motor, he's quick, has enough skills, and obviously to go to the next level. And the CIF champion. Congratulations to you, man.
Thank you.
We'll do
Rich, one more
left-handed
thing about Jun. He has all the reason in the world to be entitled, right? Because he's the stud athlete and all of these different things, and just a quiet workhorse all the time. And I think that's really what separates guys to get to that next level is they understand that, hey, it's not about me, it's about everybody else.
He's silent but deadly. Make a good assassin, wouldn't he? And that's what you were this year, basically, for your football team, man. You helped them get over the hill, and there's nothing better than that. Jun, congratulations to you, man. We look forward to following your progress at Drake next season. All right, who's next, Coach?
Next, we're going to bring on Carson Irons, our middle linebacker. Carson is only a junior. Is only a junior this year. Actually started for us as a sophomore last year and was Defensive Player of the Year for our team as a sophomore with 120 tackles. This year he had 170 tackles and was just the unquestioned leader of our defense. Just a student of the game. Again, another guy who's humble and hungry, works really hard, and again a great student in the classroom. He has a 4.8 GPA. He's going to get recruited by several Ivy League schools here in the next year.
Man.
And again, we're really proud of him, and he's really taken ownership of that defense and just done a phenomenal job for us. And so, again, Carson Irons, a guy you're going to hear about even more next year because he's only a junior.
Well, Carson, I told you, man, you have a great name for a football player, Irons. It's in the military GIs, Gerald Irons. It's a tough name, man. If you're going to have a name playing sports, that's a great name to have. But obviously, that's not what's carrying you. Obviously, your ability's carrying you. Talk about your football ability. How long have you been playing, and what do you like doing?
It's going to be my fifth year this season. I've played 1 year Pop Warner, so I'm still relatively new.
Yeah, it is. For being as well as you play, it doesn't seem like a lot of experience 1 year prior to coming here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so pretty much I have to kind of make up for I don't have a very good football knowledge, only playing 4 years so far.
Right.
So I kind of make up for that in my preparation, preparing for by watching game film and prepping for different teams.
That's funny. We were talking off here with Silva. We're going to meet him in a minute. He was saying that he doesn't really watch films because he's got it all. And he wasn't bragging on himself. Actually, his teammates were telling me this. But you're one that actually really prepares.
Yes, sir.
You study, and obviously your GPA is what again?
4.8.
Really? And you're going to go where?
Don't know yet, sir.
Possibly the Ivy League school coach?
Possibly.
We'll work on it. He's only a junior, so he's going to take his we had to wait to take his – he kept scheduling SAT tests and stuff, and then we kept playing, so we kept having to move it back and things like that. So
that's just the formality.
He's got a bright future ahead of him, both academically and athletically. And, that's why Carson calls the defense and not Silva. I'm just
Listen, these guys, they have a great relationship. All this stuff is just football stuff, man. This is just locker room stuff here. Talk about your season in particular. Surprised you had such a great year. Obviously, you were the leading tackler last year. You're the leading tackler unquestionably this year on the team. Let's talk about that.
I mean, it's been a journey. It's been special. I mean, from day one in January, first week of off season, everybody had in mind 14 games. We're gonna play 14 games and we're gonna get a CIF title. And I mean, it really showed in the weight room and on the field during practice every week. I just feel like a lot of the games we won really came from outworking our opponent all year, and it's just been amazing to play with my teammates.
Your CIF championship experience. Talk about that. Talk about that game. What did it feel like, man, coming away with that ring?
Well, I mean, first of all, 14th game, everybody's pretty beat up and tired, and
Absolutely.
it really takes, like, you got to have some discipline, and you got to really be at that point you're almost just trying not to get complacent, and you want to keep getting better each week. And I mean, just after the game, when we won that game with Wilson's pick, I mean, it felt surreal. Like, I didn't even notice, or like it didn't process. It's like, whoa, we just won a CIF title. It's crazy.
And you know what? A lot of great athletes say that. They're in the fog at that moment. You know,
Yes, sir.
they don't even realize that. Really? The game's over? Oh, my Lord. You know, we
Yeah.
just won. But congratulations, man. That's something special. Again, you've done something for your senior class that they'll never forget. All
Thanks,
right.
sir.
Good luck on your way out, and we'll talk to you again, man. I have a feeling we're going to be out here again. All right,
Sir.
Coach, who's next?
Next, I got a couple of the guys who were the game-winning heroes. We'll start with Vincent Silva,
All right.
who is a running back, outside linebacker for us. Vince is also only a junior, also a guy who's going to be a third-year starter. Vince was banged up a little bit toward the end of the season, and by week 13 in the semifinals, he was finally fully healthy and had a great week of practice that week. And I remember, leaning over to our offensive coordinator, Kevin Oberlander, saying, I think Vince is going to have a huge game. And he exceeded my expectations. Against Trabuco Hills, he had 3 touchdown receptions, 4 receptions for 202 yards, which was a school record, and 3 of them went for touchdowns, including a 90-yard touchdown catch, and including the game winner in the fourth quarter. And that sent us into the championship game, and then Wilson made a big play, and Carson got an interception to ice it. The following game against Santa Barbara, he had 3 more touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown in the third quarter, all in the second half, and then a receiving touchdown in the fourth quarter to put us up, and then another receiving touchdown in the fourth quarter, which eventually won it. So 6 touchdowns in 2 games.
Busy dude.
And again, played defense the entire game in both of those games as well. So really impressive performance for him. We don't win a CIF title without this guy.
Wow. Silva, man, you're one busy dude, huh? And only a junior.
Yep.
Man. Now, we talked earlier, you had an extensive football background coming into this, though, man. You played for a while. We were teasing you about your 12-year vet and all this stuff, but in truth, it does help to have a little head start coming in, like anything else. You know, if you can somehow play some club, something, get in, you got you got skills down, all you have to do is improve on them. But you had a big season, man. How do you feel about it?
I feel good. I'm still shocked that like all these seniors are going to be gone next year, and we walked into a meeting the other day, and all these freshmen are coming up in this room, and I have no idea who any of them are, and there's no more seniors, and it's just a whole different feeling. It's just unreal that these guys are gone, and
It's your team now, though.
That was the last chance we got to play with them. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna miss the seniors, but really excited I got to play with them. I got to play with all my brothers. We bonded. It's a whole different bond.
Yeah, you guys obviously, you're going to bond when you start winning, and you guys are taking bus rides to Bakersfield and stuff like that. What do you like better, offense or defense, man? Because you're a
Offense.
second leading tackler on the team, but yet you were a big help during the playoffs.
Definitely offense better. Definitely like
With the ball.
getting the ball handed to me or thrown to me.
Well, having you and Jun, gives him a different look. Jun's a lot smaller back, but he's quick. You can't see him, man. You hear he is, and then there he's gone. You're a lot bigger. They see you coming, so you got a lot harder road to hoe there.
And Vince is going to be our featured back next year, so our offense will look a little bit different. It'll be a little bit more physical, but we feel really excited. Everybody's asking, what are you going to do? You're losing Jun Ahn. I just point right here, and I think we'll be just fine.
I was going to ask you that, what's going on at back now, but we already know. Talk about your CIF championship game, just real quick. How do you feel about it? What was going through your mind, man?
Oh, the whole game I was just like, we're down, and the whole game I'm just like, it's a ball game. We got this. Let's go. We've done it before. Like, come on, let's go. Heads up. Let's go. Keep fighting. Just the whole game I was telling everyone, like, keep fighting. We got this. And we came back.
And you got it.
I couldn't have done what I did without my team, without line blocking, without quarterback throwing, without fakes from running backs. Couldn't have done it without them. So, in a sense, it's not just me scoring these 3 touchdowns. It's those other 10 guys on the field and those other 30 guys on the sideline cheering for us.
See, this is a real football player. This is the guy that gets it. This is a smart guy. Not thinking about himself. He's thinking about his teammates because he knows he can't do it without them. All right? They make him look good. You know, a lot of kids don't get that. You don't understand that. But, yeah, it's your teammates, man. It's a team game. Football's a huge team game. And, you know, your teammates, you know, you got to get a lot of respect for that comment just right there because it is a team game. It's not all about you. Real quick now, looking forward to the next season, man. What's going through your head now? You going to start getting ready? You play any other sports?
I'm going to be in track next couple of weeks, just getting conditioned, just running around, staying healthy. I'm going to be hitting the weight room heavy with my buddy over here, Carson.
Mr. Irons.
We're going to be getting bigger, faster, stronger for next year because these seniors are going to be gone, and it's up to us now.
That's right. It's up to you guys now. Hey, listen, congratulations, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks for coming by and spending some time with us. I know you guys are off already. Coach, who's last?
Yeah, last but certainly not least, we'll bring in the hero of the CIF title game.
He's
Wilson
limping.
Cal.
He's limping. No.
He's coming in a little late because he just finished basketball practice. He's also a returning all-league guard for us on the basketball team, also a returning all-league defensive back and receiver for us coming into this year. Wilson was our leading receiver, broke career receiving yards and receptions and season receiving yards and receptions, had over 1,000 yards receiving this year, caught, I think, 70 balls. But then also played defense, and that's really where he was the hero of the title game. We're up protecting a lead by 3 points. Their quarterback, again, the Wisconsin commit, throws to the end zone. Wilson steps in front, takes a knee. Did you take a knee? Or did you get tackled? It goes down. It goes down. We get the touchback, and then, you know, again, victory formation, and the ring is ours. So Wilson had an incredible year, an incredible season. Again, a guy who started since his sophomore year, was one of the guys in the area who lives right by Sunny Hills, who made the choice to come to Sunny Hills, and was really the first in that line. And he's talking to several schools right now about FCS and D2 level. And so he'll end up signing somewhere here in February. We're excited about it.
Wilson looks like all your teammates here. You guys all look like football players, man. You always got something special going. Wilson, real quick, big season. Other than winning the CIF championship this year, what was the highlight of your season, other than the title?
Honestly, the whole season was a highlight. Just being able to put in work since January with these guys, being able to bond with all of them, and just going out and being able to accomplish something special. That was a highlight the whole season.
And the CIF championship, your thoughts on that? Can you take yourself back to that moment in time when you guys know you got it?
And that was crazy. So we were down the whole game, but nobody panicked. Everyone just stayed composed. And, you know, the teams that lose in those situations are the ones that panic and start yelling and pointing fingers and try to do something like out of character to win. But, you know, we just stayed ourselves and stuck to the plan and won the game.
Man, that's some good philosophy right there, man. When the chips are down, don't lose your head. Those guys that don't lose their head usually come out on top. And nothing's truer. Not a truer statement was made. What are you doing? What are you going to do now? You going to play some basketball and anything else?
Yeah, I'm in basketball seasons, and I'm going to take a couple of recruiting trips and then just, you know, weigh out all my options and then pick a school.
Do that, man, and go on all those trips and enjoy yourself, man. Max them out. Well, that's all the time we have for today, unfortunately. I'd like to talk more with Coach and the athletes here at Sunny Hills. CIF champions, they got invited to state, did their best. It's phenomenal. Sunny Hills, man, coming back and winning the CIF title this year in the season 2019. On behalf of all the athletes here, Coach Pete Karavedas, I'm Rich Estrella, saying so long from your friends here at the SoCal Prep Report.